Spoiler alert, we're going to talk about the movie The Life of Chuck, so you've been warned. You ever meet someone who's simultaneously the most self-absorbed person you know and somehow still makes you feel completely seen? That's Walt Whitman. The guy wrote a 1,300-line poem about himself, and he still managed to make it about you. He didn't just break the fourth wall, he obliterated it, danced through the debris, and then offered you a kiss on the forehead and a blade of grass for your trouble. Do I contradict myself? Very well then, I contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes. That one line has been tattooed on ribs, quoted in therapy, and recited in dorm rooms after one too many hits off a philosophical joint. But what does it mean? So today, let's ask the question, what if your self is both ego and a cosmos? I'm Theology Jack, your guide in exploring life's biggest questions and mysteries. Whitman's Song of Myself isn't just a long poem. It's a theological earthquake wearing the mask of poetry. It's like he took the ego of Kanye West, mixed it with the empathy of Mr. Rogers, and sprinkled in some quantum physics before anyone knew what quantum physics was. He starts the poem by saying, I celebrate myself and sing myself. Bold, right? Like the opening line of a diary written by someone who's about to change your life and make you slightly uncomfortable at brunch. But here's the twist. When Whitman says myself, he doesn't mean Walt. He means the self as a phenomenon, the inner observer, the breath inside your breath, the you behind your eyes that's also somehow the wind, the grass, the sex, the pain, the death, and the rebirth happening all around you all the time. He's not just singing about himself. He's singing about yourself, as if to say, you're not just you. You're also the sky you stare at when you feel alone. You're also the prisoner in solitary, the lover in ecstasy, the dying man who forgives the world with his final exhale. It's radical egoism and radical empathy at the same time. It's, I am the center of the universe, but not in the narcissistic way. It's, I am the universe noticing itself, and that's wild. So let's call it what it is. Emotional quantum physics. You're both a particle and a wave. You're both one and many, both body and spirit, sinner and saint, selfish and sacred. Whitman looked at the contradictions within himself, and instead of tidying them up for public consumption, he shouted them out into the cosmos and said, I contain multitudes. This wasn't just poetic flair, it was a metaphysical dare. What if your inconsistencies aren't flaws to hide, but doorways into deeper humanity? What if the parts of yourself that don't match up are actually evidence of your divine complexity? And here's where it gets sneakily theological. Whitman didn't believe God lived above. He believed God lived in, not just in the soul, but in the sweat, in the skin, in the grass growing over graves, in the erotic, in the shameful, in the sacred, in the sound of your own breathing at 2:17 a.m. when you can't sleep and the universe feels like it's holding its breath with you. That's why process theologians and open theologians today quietly nod when they read Whitman. Because for them, God isn't a puppeteer. It's the pulse of the universe. Not a king in the sky, but the fierce, gentle rhythm underneath all becoming. Whitman, in a way, was doing proto-Open theism. He was saying, I am not fixed. I am becoming. I contradict myself because I'm alive. And God, if God is real, must be just as alive. And here's the part that most theology textbooks somehow skip. Whitman didn't try to resolve the contradictions. He honored them. He didn't try to be consistent. He tried to be true. That's why he says, I exist as I am. That is enough. Imagine that. Imagine not needing to be fully understood, just fully present. Let's be real. Most religion doesn't know what to do with contradiction. It wants tidy doctrines, clear answers, theologically sound footnotes. But Whitman, he walks into the cathedral of the cosmos with muddy boots and says, here I am, all of me, even the messy bits. And something about that feels honest, because life is messy. Identity is fluid. Love is wild. And God, if not messy and wild and fluid, might not be worth believing in. Now, if you're wondering where this shows up in Scripture, buckle up. Remember Moses asking God for a name? God says, I am. Not I was, not I will be, but I am. Pure presence, pure now. No definition, just being. That's Whitman's whole vibe. Or think about the Psalms. David's crying, raging, praising, contradicting himself constantly. One psalm is all, God is my rock. And the next is, where the hell are you? That's Whitman too. He's not unbiblical. He's more biblical than most theology professors. He's just unafraid to admit that the truth is rarely a straight line. So what does this mean for us? Well, maybe it means that you don't have to tidy up your beliefs before you belong. Maybe it means your internal contradictions aren't evidence of hypocrisy, they're evidence of humanity. Maybe it means that the God who contains multitudes isn't threatened by your complexity. Maybe you're allowed to be a walking paradox, like you can love Jesus and still rage against the church. You can feel divine and depressed in the same afternoon. You can be both skeptical and spiritual. You can laugh at your own despair. That's not a glitch. That's the design. At the end of the day, Whitman isn't asking you to believe something. He's asking you to become something, or maybe just become, to unhide, to exhale, to stop apologizing for not being consistent and start being present. He writes, I tramp a perpetual journey. My signs are a rainproof coat, good shoes, and a staff cut from the woods. He's saying, you don't need a plan. You need presence. And maybe that's what Stephen King was whispering through The Life of Chuck. Yeah, I said Stephen King. Stick with me, because while most folks know him for clowns and haunted hotels, The Life of Chuck might be one of the most spiritually honest things he's ever written. Here's the setup. The story starts with the end of the world. Billboards fade, Starbucks dies, the sky unthreads itself, civilization crumbles. But instead of explaining it with aliens or demonic kids, King blames it all on Chuck. Just some dude. Then the story unfolds backward, from Chuck's death to his life, to his childhood. And as you watch it unravel, like time played in reverse, it slowly dawns on you. The universe in this story is inside Chuck, or maybe Chuck is inside the universe. Either way, the boundaries blur. The ego in the cosmos, same weird, sacred kind of soup. And here's the kicker. It's not presented as horror. It's presented as beauty, because The Life of Chuck isn't about the apocalypse. It's about appreciation. It's about dancing on a rooftop during the last 30 minutes of your life, because screw it, it's raining and you're alive and you've got legs and maybe that's enough. It's Whitman's I contain multitudes turned inside out and run through a cosmic Xerox machine. It's radical egoism because the entire universe hinges on Chuck, and radical empathy because you realize maybe that's you too. Maybe your inner world holds more than you know. Maybe you too are the stage where reality performs its strange little play. Maybe the sky collapses, not when the stars die, but when someone forgets they mattered. So when Whitman says, I celebrate myself, and Stephen King says, the world ends with Chuck, they're both pointing at the same terrifying, gorgeous idea. You matter more than you think. And also, you're not the only one here. You are the stage and the actor and the audience. You're the contradiction. You're the cosmos. And maybe, just maybe, you're the whole unfolding show. Or as Whitman would say, a larger self, one that contains multitudes. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading everything and might even include your ideas in a future video. And a quick reminder, click like just to be cool. And hey, if this is your kind of stuff, hit subscribe for more. It helps me so much. Let's map ideas that can change the world together. And thanks for watching till the end, fellow explorers. Stay curious and embrace the mystery. This is Theology Jack, signing off.